Well, driveway's clear. Time to show you what I got in Buffalo. Hey, well, I thought I would show you what I got this weekend. A friend of mine that we go hunting comic books together, and he's really good at pressing and cleaning books. He has been, going to a lot more shows and cons than I think he said 23 so far this year he's been to, but he meets a lot of dealers, and some of them are kind of local. These two in particular are in Buffalo. I refer to it as a honey hole only because it's not in a con setting. It's more casual. It's a lot easier to get books. You don't have people crowding into you, and you have a little bit more time to look at things before you grab them. So what I thought I would do, there's my producer. Hi, Daisy. You can't be in frame. What I thought I'd do was just show these books, and I'll yammer on while I'm doing it. It was a really bad weather day. We got to the first place a little after 1, I think. More of a button-down dealer, very clean books, as you'll see. I'll just start showing them here. Everything in the open top Mylar. I think Dr. Von Chilla loves these. And there's prices on everything, and they got barcodes, and it's slick, but they had a great sale on where I ended up getting things really cheap. So I just kind of started going through boxes, and I had my list to complete certain collections, and nothing that I was just in particular there, like I got to get this thing or that thing. So I just kind of went along, grabbing, just started on the A's and went through. So it was pretty cool. And my buddy was going through, and he found some great stuff too. So it's fun. Every now and again, you're looking through boxes and you hear him go, "Oh!" or I'd make a noise and he'd look over. So it was kind of cool. But what we didn't realize is, while we were enjoying ourselves in there, the snow was continuing to fall. Now, the first place was pretty, I'd say probably a half hour east of the second place we went to, which was not as organized. Still really, really great guys. That's a great cover, the Nihilist there. But it was 6 or 7 boxes of new stock that they hadn't even priced or gone through yet, so no one else had seen it yet. And that was the one that I was really excited about, and I'll show you that'll be the rest of this. I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can. I guess it's a little bit after style, only you can see my face. I have almost all my Miss Marvel run now. I just need 1 and 18, the 2 most expensive ones, of course. That's not very nice. He's trying to drown her. This was always one of my favorite covers when I was a kid, Thor book. I think my cousin had it, and then it quickly became coverless. So I remember I saw it one summer, and then by the time fall came, that was gone. Another great Thor, Gil Kane. But the snow wasn't quite as bad. I'd say we probably got 3 or 4 inches at the place we were, but then as we drove west, it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And by the time we got there, we got stuck about 3 times in the guy's housing development. And, luckily we got there, and we got in there, but it was not fun getting there. It was a little kind of white knuckly hanging on, and you start questioning yourselves, is getting stuck in the snow, on a Sunday night, worth comic books? And I guess I answered that's because we did it. And this one completes my Defenders run. I only collected the Marvel feature 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 through 41. That's all I really want. And then Iron Man. I think this completes my run on that too. I think I want 60 through 150. So that's kind of done. Then I started grabbing more Werewolf by Nights. I love the Mike Ploog covers. They're really cool. Really start skewing towards the monster books and westerns and sci-fi stuff. Captain Marvel, continuing on that journey. Almost done. I think I need number 1 and I think one other one, maybe 3. I don't know. That one always looked funny to me. This looked very cartoony to me when I was a kid. Great covers. These are just so clean too. These books are all in 7.0 or better condition. anytime I can grab a 12-cent book for less money, like this one was marked 20, and I think I ended up paying like $6 for it. So the more I bought, the better deals they gave me. So you know, together, my friend and I think that first spot we probably bought over 100 things together. So, and I got to stop buying this book. I feel like Dr. Von Schilla and Thor 207 with this. I think I have 4 or 5 copies of this now. I just love that cover. It's a funny story too on the inside. And this one I got just because of Christmas. I've seen it a few times, and I know some of you horror collectors out there will enjoy this. I think Reaper Tate will like this, and Fens the Spook, I'm sure if he doesn't have this, he's going to run right out and get it. The kids Christmas morning running down the stairs all excited, and they can't see that there's that creature behind there that beheaded the doll. Kind of gruesome. Great cover. But it was marked $10. I think I ended up paying like $3 for that, so how can you go wrong? Now this one's an awesome one. In Charlton 66, you'll appreciate this one as well. After Comics. It's Keep Cold Outlaw 180, and it's a reprint, but I love the cover on this. I actually like the cover on this one better than the original, and the original one is a Silver Age book, but I can't wait to read this one. I'm really excited to read this because it's silly. Great. Can't wait to read it. And then these came out, Strange Sports in 20-cent era. Oops. And they're reprints from the 60s, and they got the new cover treatment and just that cool looking 20-cent era. Both Marvel and DC. I just loved the covers back then. It's my favorite time. Then I've been grabbing weird Western tales. I think The Great Legend, he's collecting these as well. This one just has El Diablo in it, but I think there's also Jonah Hex in here. I have to look, but Jonah Hex appeared, I think, in 12 through 30 something, and then he got his own book finally. But great book. Great pricing too. We got Frankenstein #2. I love this cover. I love the look on his face there. He's so forlorn. Sorry about this, a really bad glare today. It's this juicy mylar is what's doing it. And then lastly, I got Swamp Thing #3. And almost done with that. I think I need 2 and 13, and I think I might be done. 2, 13, and 14, I think is what I need. So then we left that place, and that was great. You know, I was real happy with this big stack of books I got. I also got a book there, a CGC books, which I don't normally buy, but it's on my 2018 list, so you're all going to have to wait till at least January 1st to see what that is. So it's Silver Age, that's all I'll tell you. I guess you can go back and look at my list and figure that out. Anyway, the next place we drove to, and like I said, it's a half-hour commute, but it took way longer than a half hour to get there. We took about 45 minutes to an hour to get there, and there's people off the road left and right, and you always get these people with their big 4x4 trucks, and you know, tires are tires. Four-wheel drive's great, but if the roads are icy and there's a foot of snow on the ground, I don't care what kind of vehicle you got, you're going to go off. And sure enough, we saw at least a half a dozen trucks or SUVs off the road, you know, just stuffed in the median. But so we get there, and the guy had just finished doing his driveway. We got stuck at his neighbor's house, and he helped push us into his driveway. And I remember my buddy and I, we were thinking, well, we got to make this quick because, you know, it's coming down. I mean, it was coming down like 2-3 inches an hour. But anyway, so we dove right into it. And the first thing I did, the guy said, yeah, I got some treasuries. So I went through his treasuries, and he had Spider-Man, the first one, but it was horribly scuffed on the cover. And I don't care so much about quality of them, but I didn't want anything really bad, so I needed these 2 Hulk, and they were actually gorgeous. They're pretty much pristine, so that's going to be awesome. I'm saving those for Christmas time. I'll read those when over break or whatever. And then I just dove into the boxes. My buddy started on the left, I started on the right, and we just kind of came through and then crossed and we went through, because that way we do that at shows too, so we don't miss it. And usually at a show too, we'll look at each other's books to see if we see something that the other guy didn't notice, like a corner chink or something like that, but we didn't really have time. We were just going so fast, we had so many boxes to get through, so I just kind of went through and just was grabbing what I could. So I always wanted this book. I always read about it. I never had it. It's where Nitro and Captain Marvel fight, and this is the issue where he gets cancer, I guess, from the radiation from Nitro, so that's kind of a cool issue. And then I just I'm collecting Captain Marvel, so these are awesome Gil Kanes. I really liked when he had the white hair better than when he had blonde hair. Just made him look really cool. This is the first costume, kind of cool. And yeah, so we were digging through and just grabbing books left and right. And while we were there, the guy was going through other boxes that he had, and his friends there that helps him do shows. And it was a smallish house, and this guy had his dining room and his living room just chock full of boxes and comic books. And they had the Overstreet Guide out, and they had their bags out, and they were writing their prices, and just it was kind of cool. It was fun listening to different things. They kind of give us a little more insight on what goes on at shows, and it was kind of cool. 2001, this completes my run on this. I should have mentioned that. I completed my run on a lot of things. Captain Marvel, I'm real close on. I need, I think, 1 and 3, and I'm done with that series. So these are great Jack Kirby books, and now I have them all. So that's another one I got to line up and read. My reading shelf's going to collapse over there. I got to get going. I got to stop buying books and start reading them. Now this one is 100, and I missed. I didn't check. So like I said earlier, normally we double check our stuff, and this one didn't get checked, and that's got a horrible chewed up corner. So I'll clean this one best I can, and on eBay it'll go. So I've been collecting Fantastic Four, and I'm not sure how far down I want to go and which ones I'm going to keep. You know, you think, oh, we'll do all the Stan Lee and Kirby run, you know, from 1 through whatever it was that they ended up at, 100 or 101, 102. I don't know the number, but this is a cool cover too. It's Overmind. I already had this one, but I was getting these at such a good price, I had to get it. So yeah, I don't know how far I'm gonna go in it and what I'm gonna keep. This one I never got to finish this because it's a continuation of Avengers 127. It's where Ultron makes that giant body, and I think he kidnapped Crystal and did a whole bunch of stuff. But this is the continuation of that story, so that'll be cool. I can finish that one up. This book here, and I'll show it in my landfill collection someday, but I think I got this for Christmas. Yeah, it says March, so yeah, I would have got this for Christmas whenever this came out, probably 1974, 1975, and I think it was my first Fantastic Four, so I got a really nice copy of it. I don't know why Dr. Doom, we just wanted to torment them. It didn't seem like he needlessly involved them in his schemes of world domination. I don't know, maybe he thought he had to get rid of them first to do it, but I don't know. And then I got Supernatural Thriller, The Mummy. It's the first appearance of The Mummy. So it's kind of a cool cover. Again, I don't know why. I'm starting to really love the monsters. I guess I always did. But and then I completed my Daredevil run of what I want to collect of Daredevil. So there's 120. It's kind of a brutal pulling the Black Widow by her hair. Guy's costume is so crazy, the design of it. So he, gets dressed up and said, "That's it. That's my costume. That's who I'm going to be." El Jaguar. Anyway, and 112. These ones are really nice. I guess this is the first Silver Samurais, so that's kind of cool, I guess. And then 108, and I'm done. I'm only collecting from 108 up to probably 139, I think is the last book I collected. Not a huge fan of Daredevil, but that particular run, I like, and then some of the older ones I like. So I did actually pick this up from my buddy. He had it, and I got it. I just like the drawing on it. It's such a cool design. It's just, look how much simpler the design was compared to some of the modern comics now. Just the layout of it, the use of color. It's just a beautiful cover. I like the older books too, the size of them. And then I got this because I'm not a huge Black Panther fan, but I do love this comic. It reminds me of when I was a kid. I love this cover. I think it was in a lot of ads, is probably why, but Jungle Action 15. Get dropped into a bed of thorns. One of my favorite covers from the 70s for sure. And then this one I grabbed. I already have it, but it was a great price. This one's in really nice shape. I missed a little nick that has on it, but it's Fantastic Four 112. I'd say it's probably going to be a 7.5. We'll see. I'm going to clean it up and press it and then send it in the CGC. We'll see what we do. So this may appear in a later video. But it's a nice book, and anytime you can grab a Silver Age book like that at a good price, you may as well do it. So then I just started diving in, and I just started getting all of these books, and it was a lot of fun. But while we were in there, we didn't realize that snow was really piling up this time. Here we go. Nick talked about this one, ETA Nick. It's a Bernie Wrightson cover where he draws Man-Thing and the Hulk, and it's really nice. I think he actually highlighted this in one of his videos, so if you want a much nicer look, go check out his channel. It's a cool book. I didn't realize I didn't have it till he mentioned it, and I went and looked. And then these old Hulks I like. I never liked them when I was a kid, but I like the simplicity of them now. This one's one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of MODOK. I would love to see him show up in the movies. Only the 70s version, not that goofy cartoon thing they did. Treatment of him. But that's just a great cover. And I picked up ones, you know, I'm doing a Thor run, and it's the First Fire Lord. And it's probably, it's perfect. This could be a 9.6. So I'll probably send that one in as well. See how well it does. And then I'm not a huge Dracula fan, but I do love a lot of the covers, and this one's an awesome cover. You got that creepy guy. It says, "There be things that even a vampire fears." So apparently Dracula's scared of that guy. Then you get all the crossovers they did in the 70s with, you know, the Frankenstein and the werewolf, and Dracula and Frankenstein. So this one's a really cool cover here. The only thing that was kind of stupid about it is the unfortunate placement of the arrival or date stamp where that guy hand wrote it in there, but that's alright. It's kind of vintage, I guess. Not so bad. Then I came across Marvel Spotlight, and these particular boxes, a couple dealers had been through, so I was surprised. I think sometimes when you go through and you're grabbing, you know, like Hulk and X-Men 1 and books like that, you don't think of these lower books, but Marvel Spotlight, he had the entire run. So I didn't have one, so I do now. And then, even though I already have it back there, I picked up another copy. And this one actually might be even nicer than my copy. So it has 0 staple marks on it, and it has a super square bound edge. So I'll probably clean it up, and then I'll do a comparison, and I'll probably keep the lesser copy for myself and CGC the better one, and get rid of it so I can buy more stuff. But so I got 3. I don't have that. It's the Bride of Frankenstein, doesn't she? And then that one. And then I finished my Adventure into Fear, well, the Morbius run, 20 through 31, I think. So I picked that up. It was great. All these were just there, you know. And I'm going back. I'm not sure how far. I think I mentioned in one of my videos. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with all the way down to Fear, but I'm getting most of the Adventure into Fear. I really don't want to pay what is number 19 is going for because of Howard the Duck. I know there's a huge Howard the Duck following apparently, but I don't want to pay $30–40 for what I consider kind of a throwaway book. But he did have Fear number 1, so I picked it up. It was in really nice shape, and these are reprint books from 60 Stories, but it's a pretty cool cover. It has an EC look to me. Anthony Reaper Tate can comment on that, but I think if you covered that up and said that was an EC cover, I would believe you. Then I grabbed the whole Werewolf by Night run, which is awesome. 4. Again, this is one that's funny to me that these were just sitting in the box, and I could have had the entire run. I already have most of it, so there's 2. I like that cover a lot. I always like when they have the cops drawn that way. It seems like to be a thing they did in the 70s. And I got number 1. Number 1 it's beautiful. Yeah, it's almost too nice to keep, I guess I'd say. I'd say it's easily a 9.0, 9.2. Yeah, really nice book. White pages, so that'll get sent in. We'll see what that does. And then another book that I grabbed, you know, it's on my 2018 list, and I grabbed it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this particular one. I think it's a 6.5. I really kind of want a 7 or higher, probably an 8.0, because bronze books I like to try to get 8.0s if I can afford them. But I got X-Men 94. So this is not. I'm gonna slab this one, but I think I'm gonna sell it, and then use the proceeds to buy a nicer raw one. But I couldn't pass it up. It was sitting in the box, and We agreed on a good price, so I grabbed it. And then it's kind of cool because the guy knows how much I like the monster books. And as I was walking out, he's like, "Hey, do you want that book?" And I'm like, "What book?" And he points down. He says, "Take that. You can have it." So that was really cool. And it's Monsters Unleashed, and it's one of these gigantic books. I haven't opened it yet. I read some of these online on the Marvel digital site, whatever they call that at. And they weren't very good. I just thought they were kind of silly. You could tell it was a setup for a new character. But what I did like is they brought back a lot of the old 60s monsters. And the artwork in here is really, really nice. They're very true to those monsters' design. Devil Dinosaur, Fin Fan Foom, Gorgilla, Moomba. They had all those guys in there. And they were fighting these goofy-looking Pacific Rim-like guys in there. But it just was really nice of the guy. So that was kind of how that ended. And I think we may end up going back there again, so that my friend, he seems to really find these honey holes a lot, and it's kind of cool. There's another two people we've been talking to, so we may go. They're private collectors, they're not dealers, but they kind of want to thin out their herd a little bit. So I'm more than happy to go help them do that. So anyway, that was my trip to Buffalo. It was a white knuckle ride home. It took us about an hour and almost 2 hours to get home. We got stuck twice out of the guy's driveway. Him and his friend dug and pushed and dug and pushed, and I couldn't wait to get in the car and just relax. But it was definitely a white knuckle ride home on those crappy roads. So that was the trip. Really happy with everything I got. I do want to go through and rebag stuff. I got a lot of cleaning and pressing to do, obviously, but that's fine. And anyway, that was my trip, and thanks for watching. Till next time. Keep reading.